So he clearly planned this. He had the manifesto going live on YouTube at a certain time. Clearly there was some thought that went into this, Aaron. I mean, and nobody was tipped off.
This is 100% domestic terrorism. I'm going to tell you why, Trace. This is ideologically motivated. This was tactical, and this was intentional. 80% of these domestic lone wolf terrorists post some type of grievance online. Matthew Crooks, 900 posts between 2020 and 2022. The DC shooter, 900-page manifesto. 100% domestic terrorism, and I bet you, in addition to that manifesto, there's a very significant breadcrumb daisy trail leading back who knows how many weeks, months, or even years. This is the new face of terrorism. This is no longer post 9/11 terror organized Al-Qaeda, Trace. These are radicalized online lone wolves, and the United States is 10 years behind these threats. We need to catch up.
And I wanted to get your opinion on the breaking news here, because the First Lady Melania Trump just called for more, and this is quoting here, preemptive intervention when it comes to IDing school shooters. It's kind of your bailiwick, Aaron.
Trace, as you know, correct, 100%, and she's 100% correct. I am now about to launch Gideon, America's first ever AI threat detection platform built specifically for law enforcement. It scrapes the internet 24/7 using an Israeli-grade ontology to pull specific threat language and then routes it to local law enforcement. It's a 24/7 detective. It never sleeps, and it's going to get us in front of these attacks.
Would it have picked up on this, do you think?
100%. I wish my program would already be up. We're not launching until next week. I've got a dozen agencies on board, Trace. I just unloaded a major Northeast agency with over 2,700 sworn. This is America's early warning system.
Lieutenant Mark Evans, it's great to have you on.
Shalom. First thing and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor that is due to Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim, Kakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. Those in this gospel, bro, lifting up the standard of Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. This is another lesson through the Spirit. This is going in tandem of, it says Esau in his own words, mass surveillance of the internet. Soon Accessi Net will not be available. As we know, the famine of the word and all these other particular attacks that Esau has been conjuring up, which a lot of these active school shootings and all this other shit is really a psyop to be justified on pushing this AI surveillance. Because that's at the end of the day, that's what it's about, because they need to know who's who, what's what, who's saying what, whose particular mindset or talking points is geared towards the opposition of this kingdom. Because, see, you have us that's heralding in the coming of Yahushai, which is a proverbial threat to Esau, because when you're saying that an outside force is coming to level a particular jurisdiction or principality, then oftentimes that's a threat, because Esau knows his time is just about up. So they was going into the Gideon, you have the Gideon AI technology, and I typed it in, and it says, based on information available, Gideon AI technology primarily refers to two distinctive initiatives: the robotics and autonomous systems developed by Gideon, former Gideon brothers, and we know who Gideon was in the scriptures, right? Gideon had 70 sons. It was a man of the Most High, and you had the, I believe it was 300 men, okay, that the Most High only needed in number. So Gideon was a very prominent figure in the scriptures. But it says the Gideon brothers, a Croatian-based company specializing in AI-powered material handling for supply chains, and Project Gideon, an emerging AI-driven threat detection platform for law enforcement. See, and this is when it's going to get gritty, because now the FBI or the local law enforcement can just pay you a visit. Hence why Trump is having a military build-up presence around America. Okay, it says here, AI-driven threat detection platform for law enforcement, developed by Aaron Cohen, a small hat, of course, which Aaron goes into light or war. It says a former Israeli special force operative, so it makes sense. A small hat will be behind this technology. And ultimately, because Esau, he's afraid of losing his kingdom. So anybody that speaks out against Amalek, they're pretty much set for extinction. But it reads, The latter has gained significant attention in recent discussions as of September 25 due to its implication for surveillance and predictive policing. So it says here, it will focus on technologies, applications, and developments. Such and such. Yep, it says Gideon is a leading development of AI-based autonomous mobile robots. See, designated to automate complex material handling in warehouses. So they got the robots and so forth. And we always mention about Esau's AI army, is technology, super soldiers, etc. They getting ready to deploy a police force to the streets of America, man, and you Jakes ain't gonna know what to do. But it reads, manufacturing, logistics, and retail environments, founded in 2017 with offices in the U.S. and employing around 133 people. The company has raised approximately $49.5 million in funding from investors, including Toyota Industries, Koch Disruptives, Technologies, GM Ventures, DB's, and DB's, what is it, Sneaker? It says that technology emphasizes human-robot collaboration, enabling robots to operate safely alongside workers without requiring infrastructure changes, because they have what they call security algorithms on it. It says Gideon solutions address labor shortages, improve efficiency, and reduce workplace industries in a market where trailer loading and unloading alone costs over $150 billion. Okay. Let's go here. Yep, Project Gideon, AI-powered threat, launched in late August 2025 by Aaron Cohen, a U.S.-Canadian former Israeli Defense Force operative and CEO of CMSI. These people got to be stopped. It says this isn't a platform designed for predictive policing, Minority Report, in real time and threat monitoring. It says marketed as America's first ever AI detection platform built for law enforcement. It is signed on a dozen of U.S. agencies for pilots. Backed by Palantir Technologies, a major data analytics firm, and developed with engineers from Palantir. OpenAI, it uses Israeli-grade ontology inspired by Israel's counterterrorism model. So these things are already biased. It says the systems have sparked controversy for resembling pre-crime surveillance akin to Minority Report, raising Fourth Amendment concerns about privacy and false positives. Yep. So peep this. It says real-time web scraping and ontology-based analysis. The core AI engine scans the open internet 24/7. Platforms like Reddit, Discord, gaming chats, French blogs, social media for threat signals. It says it employs advanced natural language processing (NLP) and machine learning models trained on ontology, structured knowledge frameworks to detect patterns of radicalization and intent. And if you think that these things are not going to biasly target our content, then you tripping. So for those of you brothers out there that may post Israelite content online, whether it be Facebook, Instagram, Reddit, wherever you may be posting videos or you sharing content, eventually it's all going to be flagged and deleted. All right, because like I mentioned, they don't want anything in semblance of any truth coming on their platforms. You see, so it says threat indicators flag several precursors to violence, including grievance buildups, escalating complaints, meaning if you saying certain things on a platform and they flag you, they keeping track of that shit. Martyrdom language or extremist indoctrination, tactical planning, mentions of weapons or strategy. So they basically want to put you back in slavery, man. Okay, this is a total violation on your First Amendment rights, and Esau is using this because he knows that the Lord is getting ready to take him down. School scouting of target reconnaissance accurately relies on semantic analysis, similar to Palantir's Gotham platform, which integrates big data for predictive insights. It says it described as a 24/7 detective that never sleeps, routing alert directly to local law enforcement for intervention before attacks occur. Wow, so motherfucker will pop up at your door based on some shit they think you're gonna say. We gotta get out of here, man. All right. Peep this. In fact, let's read it all. Integration with existing systems built on Palantir's infrastructure for data fusion. It combines open source intelligence with AI models from OpenAI for enhanced pattern recognition. It says deployment and scalability. Pilots begin onboarding 2025 for law enforcement and schools. So this is the reason why a lot of these mass shootings are allowed to hit the media, because they put that out there to be justified on doing this. It says it's positioned to prevent events like school shootings by enabling proactive arrests. Cohen pitched it on Fox News in August 25, emphasizing his role in stopping the next attack, which somebody need to stop your asses, man. Targeted use, primarily for schools, law enforcement, and counterterrorism. It aims to address rising threats from online radicalization, with Cohen claiming it can be prevented. Historical attacks by identifying early signals. Then it goes here, ethics and legal concerns. Critics argue it enables mass surveillance, potentially violating privacy rights by monitoring non-criminal speech. As of September 25, discussions on platforms like X highlight fears of bias over targeting certain groups, exactly, misuse for political suppression, and its roots in Israeli military tech. It says no pricing or full technical specs are public, but is framed as a mission-driven tool with 100% of donations funding going into development and training. And a part of this is part of that fucking Stargate shit too. So yeah, this is that whole new world order system being built. And eventually we ain't gonna be able to have certain talking points online. All right. So this is the book of Revelation 13, and I'm gonna start at 13. It says, and I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, but he spake as a dragon. Yeah, he's speaking as a dragon now. Because how all these private corporations, which is owned by small hats, is allowed to pretty much step in as government entities. NGOs, they call them, non-governmental organizations. And it says, and he exercised all the power of the first beast before him, and caused the earth and them which dwelled therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. So we going back into a draconian type setup, man. Okay, going back into Athens, Greece, you had a guy by the name of Draco, which believed in penalizing people to the fullest extent of the laws for minute offenses, and overly targeting and overly policing blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. And truth content will be an actual thing that they're going to implement, all right? Because like I said, they need to shut us up. And this is part of the miracles, okay? And it says here, and he doth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men, and deceiveth them which dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles, which he had the power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth, that they should make an image to the beast which had the wound by the sword and did live. Because we know that the ancient Roman Empire was brought down, because you had the Western Roman Empire and you had the Eastern half, all right? And what they had, the Holy Roman Empire, the Byzantine Empire, which was pretty much the fathers in the papacy, and you know, men like Constantine the Great, which were Israelites, which assumed the papacy, man. But it says here, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. So this is part of the image. Okay, they're building a police force around AI to be able to secretly spy on people, man. You know, and the fact that people are not revolting against this, they're just gonna continue to take your freedom and your rights away, because people will read this and they will come across it, but they would think nothing of it. You know? So yeah, man, this is gonna be your police surveillance of the New World Order. So men like us, they're gonna come pay us a visit eventually. Sooner or later, they're gonna knock on the door. Hey, we heard that you saying such and such, such and such, such and such. What do you mean by that? You know? So, yeah, brothers, we in them times. Revelation 12 and 12. It says, therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. It says, woe unto the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down to you having great wrath, because ye have but a short time. So this is part of it. All right. Yeah, this man is getting ready to lose it. Psalm 17. And let's start at verses 8. It says, keep me as the apple of the eye, and hide me under the shadow of thy wings, from the wicked that oppress me, from my deadly enemies who compass me about. Yeah. And how do they do that? With this technology, first and foremost, because like I mentioned, police systems dealing with minority report type setups, that's going to be getting people hemmed up before they even committed an alleged offense. You know, it says, from the wicked that oppress me, from my deadly enemies who compass me about. It says, they are enclosed in their own fat, and with their mouth they speak proudly. It says, they have now compassed us in our steps. They have set their eyes bowing down to the earth, man. And how? Through technology. Like as a lion that is greedy of his prey, and as it were a young lion lurking in secret places. But arise, O Lord, and disappoint him. Cast him down, and deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword, from men which are thy hand, O Yahweh, from men of the world, which have their portion in this life, and whose belly thou fillest with thy hid treasures. They are full of children, and leave the rest of their substance to their babes, man. All right, so yeah, man, this is quite interesting. I'm gonna have to go a little bit more in depth into this, because I'm gonna learn a little bit more about it. But definitely, it's called Project Gideon, AI-powered threat detection for law enforcement. Yeah, and they not even hiding this shit. That's the crazy part. Aaron Cohen, of course, he's a small hat. Look up this devil. These fucking people gotta be put down. If anything, somebody needs to surveil their ass, man. Because these are the ones, these people are single-handedly responsible for destroying the earth and putting the earth in a chaotic state that is in today. And they got the audacity to try to watch everybody. The reason why they want to watch everybody is because the whole world is watching their ass. And they need a justification on how to silence people and shut people up because they're being exposed, man. Okay, it tells us here in Obadiah, matter of fact, let's go to the book of Jeremiah 49 and get it. It says he was despised among all men. Jeremiah 49 and 9, it says, if gate gatherers came to thee, would they not leave some gleaning grapes, or if thieves by night, then would destroy till they've had enough. It says, but I've made Esau bare, I've uncovered his secret places, and he should not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not. Yeah, he's uncovered, man. All right, he's not hiding himself among the different disguises that he's put on himself. Okay, he's even coming out that he's not the small hat anymore. Well, he's a small hat, but he's not the true house of Judah that the scripture talks about. Okay, going down to verses 15, it says, for lo, I will make thee small among the heathen. It says, and despised among men. The world despises these people. This is why they're getting ready to bring in their military, man, to try to silence people, because, hey, the Lord is about ready to take their ass out. It says, and thy terribleness have deceived thee, and the pride of thy heart, O thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, that holdest the height of the hill, though thou shouldst make thy nest as high as the eagle, I will bring thee down, thus says the Lord, man. Okay? So, once again, you got people like this. What the hell? What the hell is this? Aaron Cohen. And you got devils like this that sets up situations to totally deplete the world of resources, and yet they want to spy on your fucking ass like you're the problem. You know? Like the scriptures say, they should be like a madman, sparing none. But I'm going to end it giving all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Lord's will you will edify. Until the next lesson, Shalom.
This is 100% domestic terrorism. I'm going to tell you why, Trace. This is ideologically motivated. This was tactical. And this was intentional. 80% of these domestic lone wolf terrorists post some type of grievance online. Matthew Crooks, 900 posts between 2020 and 2022. The DC shooter, 900-page manifesto. 100% domestic terrorism, and I bet you, in addition to that manifesto, there's a very significant breadcrumb daisy trail leading back who knows how many weeks, months, or even years. This is the new face of terrorism. This is no longer post 9/11 terror organized Al Qaeda, Trace. These are radicalized online lone wolves, and the United States is 10 years behind these threats. We need to catch up.
And I wanted to get your opinion on the breaking news here because the First Lady Melania Trump just called for more, and this is quoting here, preemptive intervention when it comes to IDing school shooters. It's kind of your bailiwick, Aaron.
Trace, as you know, correct, 100%, and she's 100% correct. I am now about to launch Gideon, America's first ever AI threat detection platform built specifically for law enforcement. It scrapes the internet 24/7 using an Israeli-grade ontology to pull specific threat language and then routes it to local law enforcement. It's a 24/7 detective. It never sleeps, and it's going to get us in front of these attacks.
Would it have picked up on this, do you think?
100%. I wish my program would already be up. We're not launching until next week. I've got a dozen agencies on board, Trace. I just unloaded a major Northeast agency with over 2,700 sworn. This is America's early warning system.
Lieutenant Mark Evans, it's great to have you on.